All my life, sacrifice, hustle paid the price, want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life, look, all my life, been grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle paid the price, want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life, look.
Every time I look in the mirror, all these lines on my face getting clearer. The past is gone. It went by like dust to dawn. I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know everybody says you got to loosen up.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Ball Dnt Lie podcast. This is your boy Dexter, your host, the one and only. Welcome back to another show. It is crazy. A lot of people out there who really thought the Nuggets would have it easy, sweeping the Lakers. They said there's no chance. There is no chance from them boys from the 305, from Dade County, will have a chance to even get a game in the series. Not even winning in Denver, just getting a game. And y'all just seen what happened. Right, fourth quarter was amazing by the Miami Heat. We'll talk about that in a second. Jimmy Buckets finally woke up a little bit in the fourth. You had guys that contributed for the Miami Heat that didn't show up in game one. Now we got a series. Now the Heat took the advantage from the Nuggets as far as home court advantage. And we'll go ahead and speak more to that in a second. Hey, man, if you're new to this channel, kick it with us for the next 15 minutes. And trust me, you're going to love the show. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification if you can. Every time you get alerts to your phone when we drop new episodes, thumbs up as well. It helps out the video push to the top on YouTube and IG. Can't appreciate the ones who's been watching throughout the whole entire season. Can't thank y'all enough. Appreciate the support. All love. All love. Hey, man. The audio is everywhere. If you can't watch me, you can hear it. Podcast, anywhere. Podcast Bean, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. And we're on social media as well. Ball Dnt Lie. BALLDNT LIE. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok, Facebook. Hit follow. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man. Hit us up, man. Especially on Twitter, man. I'll be on there tough, man. You know me. I pull up some facts. But let's go ahead and let's get down to the nitty-gritty, man, because there's only a few people out there that are really supporting Miami. I'm going for whoever wins the series. I don't really care. You know what I mean? But obviously you want to see a great NBA final. A lot of people undermine the fact that the Lakers are not in the NBA finals. Same thing with Boston or whoever else. Miami deserves to be here. Nuggets deserve to be here. And it's going to be a great series. It's crazy, man. So let's just start off saying this. For 3 quarters in game 2, the same thing the Nuggets did in game 1. They clearly dominated. They dominated. They controlled it. They controlled the tempo. They control how they played. They kind of dictate the pace of the game. And don't get me wrong, Miami was scratching and clawing in this game as well as it was in game 1. The deciding factor came down to fourth quarter. And watching both games and dissecting both games, I don't know what it is. And this happened periodically too in the playoffs with the Nuggets. When it gets to the fourth quarter, they kind of let the gas off the throttle. They kind of relax the feet on the neck of their opponent. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Michael Malone spoke about in game 1 in the presser that he's not satisfied with how they ended the game. And he went on a rant today. Same thing about game 2. Like in the presser, he just went off. And I'll play that video to you guys in a second. But yeah, man, tip your head off to Miami, man. Miami, as far as maybe the Mavericks to a slight degree back in the days, Miami is the only team in the league that plays zone defense to a perfection. We've seen that in the last series against Boston. how they slow down Tatum, how they slow down JB. And same thing happened here in game 2. They went to a heat zone in the fourth quarter. They pretty much put bodies, either guards, usually it's Gabe Vincent, or Khalid Martin. Sometimes you have Jimmy in there in case, one of those guys sit. Kyle Lowry. These guys are scrapping. And they're coming at Jokic at all angles. And I get it. Jokic is a great passer, but he can't see everything. He gets the ball. He's looking to his left. Yeah, he's getting stripped, or he's getting basically hounded by these guys, and it just causes a disruption in their offense, and kind of played out of sync in the fourth quarter. So you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Spo and his gang as far as his coaching staff going to the heat zone again. Man, they play marvelous when they play defense as far as on the zone. But yeah, so fourth quarter was the deciding factor. I don't care about the first 3 quarters. The first 3 quarters was a good game. It was up and down, whatever it may be. But once again, you have Miami's going down by 15 points. And you feel like the Nuggets have the game in their hands. That's how it came across to me. Like when I'm watching the game, I'm like, damn, yet again, here we go again. Down by 15. Can they do it this time? But the difference was the guys were actually making shots in a sense, right? like Duncan Robinson himself woke up. Okay, so when they get to the fourth quarter, they're down, right, by 3, by 10, whatever it was. I forgot what it was exactly. Duncan comes in, gets you a 3-pointer, goes to the basket, pump fake, from the corner pocket, pump fakes, goes to the basket for a layup. Next one, he gets a cut to the basket layup and 1. It's crazy. So he gives you 10 points off the bench quick. And then that gives the team somewhat of a spark. Like, okay, Duncan's eating now. Let's get the other guys involved, right? So Jimmy wakes up. Jimmy had 13 points in game 1. And everybody's saying, what's going on with Jimmy, right? And he's over here nonchalant, chilling, smiling, talking about, everything good, man. Don't worry about it. We are good. And then comes into game 2, and we're like, what the hell's wrong with Jimmy? And he finally woke up in the fourth quarter. And during that stretch of the run, as far as the team, you have 10 points that's given by Duncan Robinson. You got 8 points, crucial 8 points given by Jimmy Butler in the fourth. Then they start getting this confidence. Okay, Jimmy's back. Oh, man, Duncan's hitting his shots. Gabe Vincent played great in 2 games. The first 2 games in this finals, he's playing great. He's hitting shots, looking at people, talking trash, right? Kyle Lowry hits a big shot over Jokic. Now everybody's feeding. Bam's getting the ball, giving, dimes here and there, going for a little jump shot here and there, getting a dunk and 1. They get, Michael Porter fouled them up. So they're going on this streak, right? So he finally woke up as far as Jimmy. Congrats to him because they need him for sure, right? He ended with 21 points in the game. But if you want to win this series, Miami, Jimmy Butler cannot give you 13, 21 points in 2 games. Like, he can't give you 13 in game 1, 21 points in game 2, 21 points in game 3. That can't happen. You can't rely on the fact that the Nuggets are sleeping in the fourth quarter and you're in attack mode. You have to come out the gates and be aggressive. So I'm pretty sure in game 3 we're going to see a lot of difference. It's different playing in Denver than anywhere else. But this is the most conditioned team in the NBA. They have this process in Miami in training camp that you have to have a certain amount in body fat index, 6%, 7% body fat in order for you to be on this team. That's why all these guys are, chiseled and they're in shape. Everybody's talking about Kyle Lowry lost weight. Yeah, he did. He lost weight because he had to make that damn program. He had to fit their heat culture. So if any team had the chance of playing in Denver with the altitude and all that stuff, it's definitely Miami. They're in shape to do that. So, kudos to their whole entire nutritious team, their training staff, etc. Right? So Miami goes into Denver game 2, dominates in the fourth, drops 36 points in the fourth quarter, shooting 69% from the field, right? Shooting consistently from the free throw line, not really missing any big free throw shots. And they're doing this with a breeze, in a sense. Like, Nuggets defense couldn't figure out how to stop backdoor cuts, high pick and pops or pick and flares, pin downs, stuff like that. They couldn't figure that out in an 8-minute stretch in the fourth quarter, especially when around the 9-minute mark. Once they got into the foul trouble, the Heat started just picking them apart. So when they finally beat, the Nuggets, they ended their whole entire, celebration with 9 games undefeated at home. I'm surprised that it was called the Phoenix Suns with KD and Devin Booker didn't win a game in Denver. And you have the Lakers going there, didn't win either, right? Like there's no one that's really beating Denver in Denver. And then Miami comes out here and could have got game 1. Fourth quarter they kind of chiseled away a little bit, got the little rhythm. Yeah, okay, whatever. It ended. Game 2 they come out there and they still a game in Denver. So yeah, they ended that streak with 9-1. I think the last time the Nuggets lost a home game in Denver was March 30th. So we're looking at like almost damn near 2 months ago, right? So yeah, it's immaculate what they're doing at home. They're very tough to be at home, right? So Miami scoring 36 points, 11 for 16 from the field, shooting 69%. It's crazy. So I'm gonna run this tape for you guys about the head coach Mike Malone, what he had to say about his team and his effort. Run the tape.
I don't think that's the biggest question. Now let's talk about effort. I mean, this is the NBA Finals, and we're talking about effort. That's a huge concern of mine. And you guys probably thought I was just making up some storyline after game 1 when I said we didn't play well. We didn't play well. And tonight, that the starting lineup to start the game is 10-2 Miami. Start the third quarter, they scored 11 points in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And we just got, we had guys out there that were just, whether feeling sorry for themselves for not making shots or thinking they can just turn it on or off. This is not the preseason. This is not the regular season. It's not round. This is the NBA Finals. And that to me is really, really perplexing, disappointing. And I asked the team, I asked our players, you guys tell me why we lost. And they knew the answer. Miami came in here and outworked us. And we were by far our least disciplined game of these 16 or 17 playoff games, whatever it is now. So many breakdowns. And they exploited every one of those breakdowns and scored. So if we're going to try to go down there and regain control of this series and get home court advantage back, we're going to have to outwork Miami, which we didn't do tonight, and our discipline is going to have to be off the charts.
You mentioned the breakdowns. 17 of 35 from 3, Miami shot. I mean, how many of them were defensive breakdowns? You seem to call timeout on several of them. Maybe it's some miscommunications.
Oh, there's no maybe. Oh, there was definitely miscommunication. There was game plan breakdowns, personnel breakdowns. There were guys like Max Strus, and you know that Max, and I said it after game 1, he's 0 for 9 in game 1. You know he's going to make shots, and he got off to a really hot start tonight, cooled down a little bit, but he gets 10 threes off. Gabe Vincent gets 6 off. Kevin Love gets 6 off. Duncan Robinson gets 3 off. And those are guys that we're supposed to have a heightened awareness to. And as I mentioned after game 1, the fact that they got 16 wide open threes was concerning. They didn't make them. And so we got lucky in game 1. Tonight they made them. So it was definitely a breakdown in communication. It was definitely a breakdown in our game plan. And like I said, we just were not nearly as disciplined as you need to be in the NBA Finals.
And I don't blame Mike Malone. Mike Malone is a passionate coach. He keeps it real. He's not here to sugarcoat it. Like other coaches, which I'm not going to drop names to, they just don't know how to really get guys into the next game. And Mike Malone, after a win, called out his team. After a win. Talking about, this is the NBA Finals. Wake your ass up. This is no cakewalk. And then game 2, same thing. They had a mental collapse in the fourth quarter. He spoke about it, a few seconds ago on the video. It's just insane. I think you got to give a lot of credit to, like I said, Miami, but, you have to have guys that has to help Jokic. Like we've seen that throughout the whole entire postseason. Guys like Bruce Brown, KCP, Michael Porter Jr. was going bonkers against the Lakers, right? In 2 games, I don't see nothing outside of Murray and Jokic. Like KCP, don't rely on him. He's a defender. You know what I mean? Even though he wants to be that guy, you can't give me single-digit points in back-to-back games in the end of NBA Finals, and you're relying on him. Same thing with Bruce Brown. You're not really doing anything in the NBA Finals so far. 2 games so far, you're damn near had single digits in game 1, and in game 2 you had 10 points, I believe. Michael Porter Jr. 5 points in game 2. You're the third best option on this team, and you give your damn team 5 points. Yeah, they're gonna fix that for sure, but that's unacceptable. You can't do that either. Like, the three guys I'm relying on, obviously we all know Jokic and Murray, but Michael Porter Jr. got to wake up. At least AG, Aaron Gordon himself, is playing like he's been playing all playoffs. You know, he gives you 12 points or so, 14 points in game one, and then same thing, he's in the teens again in points in game two, and he's playing both ways. But yeah, so this is the fourth win by the Miami Heat this postseason while trailing entering the fourth quarter. It's just immaculate. Like I said, man, how they play in Miami, these guys are relentless. They're junkyard dogs. These guys bring a lunch pail to work. These are not white collar employees. These are blue collar guys. They grind. Win or lose, they gonna grind. They gonna make you work. Man, Jokic is probably gonna have bruises and scratches when by the time he's relaxing by now, right? But yeah, so third win this season. Like I said, third win this postseason when trailing by 15 points. Twice it happened against Boston. Both games were in the first two games in Boston, so you kind of catching my drift, right? It's the seventh win this postseason in franchise history as far as, most road games. It's just, like I said, Miami, they play good anywhere, man. Anywhere. They can play on the road. They can play home. They can play in Pluto, man. They can play anywhere. These guys, they don't care about home court. You can tell, man. They won 7 road games this postseason. 7. These guys don't care, man. And then they go to your house and they still win at your house. Man. Anyways, let's continue, right? So, Jimmy, it's interesting. I'm going to play this little clip for you guys. Jimmy was walking after game 3, had a shirt on, and said 3 more. Like what you seeing right now. 3 more. That's how confident these guys move. They move different. They build different. Man, I don't know what kind of water they're drinking, but that water different too. These guys walk around with swagger. Like confidence. They're poised. It feels like they're never stressing out. It feels like they're never overwhelmed. Win or lose, these guys move like nothing phases them. And that all comes from the top. That comes from leadership. That comes from Pat Riley down to Coach Spo and his whole entire coaching staff. And it goes down to Jimmy Butler, who's the leader, him and Bam. Then from Bam to the other guys, going down to whoever else. But yeah, man. Great game for sure. Yeah, but going back to Denver, this is the first loss this postseason when leading by 10 points, going into the fourth quarter. I think they're 11-1 from what I'm looking at. They're 11-1. They're up by 10 points, 10 plus points. Jokic, who played great in game 1, had a triple-double, had 14 dimes. He had 14 assists. What makes Jokic so different from anyone else, including the best bigs in the league, if you want to go that route, with Embiid, right? And to me, I really believe Embiid is the best player as far as center in the league because he does it on both ends. But offensively, the reason why he's better offensively than any other big in this league, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Embiid, whoever, Cat, the list goes on, right? Is because he gets other people in rhythm. He is solely responsible for the rest of the people besides Jamal Murray. 14 dimes, and most of it is going to be three-pointers. So just look at the math, right? Game 2, Coach Bo, and this is interesting this is how I'm leading this conversation to, right? Coach Bo is like, hey, we're not going to allow this guy to kill us, both ways. Passing the ball and getting other people involved, then killing us while scoring? Let's crowd his vision. So they threw bodies at him all game. He finished the game with 4 assists. He had 3 assists up to the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. And it's crazy. Ramon Shelburne had to ask Coach Spo this, and he dodged the question. Listen up. Play the clip.
This is probably oversimplifying things, but sometimes when teams play against Jokic, you turn him into a scorer, you turn him into a passer, and he controls the game. He only had 4 assists tonight.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's just That's the untrained eye that says something like that. This guy's an incredible player. You know, twice in 2 seasons he's been the best player on this planet. You can't just say, oh, make him a scorer. That's not how they play. They have so many different actions that just get you compromised. We have to focus on what we do. You know, we try to do things the hard way, and he requires you to do many things the hard way. And he has our full respect. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
They have his respect. And everybody respects Jokic's game. Like, no one's out there saying, yeah, boy's trash. No, they respect him because he dominates. But you can see how he dodged that question. There's no doubt Coach Spo definitely went to the game plan of taking away his passing ability and making him focusing on scoring. And then they had their focal point about other guys not doing their thing. So obviously game 3 is going to be a little bit different. Everybody's going to see that clip that I just run for you guys. And everybody's going to talk about that. It's the last 2 minutes of the game. I mean, the last possession of the game where they had 2 timeouts and they had a chance to call timeout and then draw up a plan or play chaos basketball where defense is not set up and you take the best shot available. You know, Jamal Murray had a great look. You know, it was in and out. You know, the game's about, you know, basketball's about, you know, making shots, missing shots, man. You live by the ones you make and celebrate. And the ones you miss, you go on. You keep moving forward. So, hey, man, everybody's going to be talking about that shot, but it is what it is. Next game, they're gonna focus on how, I mean, as far as Nuggets, they're going to focus on effort, fourth quarter, and then getting other players involved as far as the bench players. And obviously, Jokic is, you know, he's passing. He's going to have to definitely pass more than 4 times or 4 assists, right? But yeah, the biggest thing from this game on Miami's side is them scoring 3-pointers. In game 1, they missed. In game 1, they had 16 open 3-pointers in game 1 and completely missed. Short, over the rim, in and outs, whatever you want to call it. Right? And then in game 2, they hit 17 out of 35. Okay? These guys gave you 51 points from beyond the arc. They scored a grand total of 111 points. So damn near almost half of your scoring came from the outside. That's what killed Denver. And like I said, they had a great defensive play in the fourth quarter. But in order for you to win the game, you got to score. Caleb Martin hits a big shot. Doug Roberts hits a big shot. Kyle Lowry hits a big shot. Gabe Vincent hits a big shot. And all these shots I'm referring to were 3-pointers in the fourth quarter in the 9-minute mark stretch and below. From 9 minutes to 0, basically, they hit 4 or 5 3-pointers. Yeah, so you have to figure out how to, I guess, have the missed shots. You know, Max Strus has 0 points in game 1 and gives you some points today. Yeah, but Denver needs to figure out how to get other guys involved. And like right now, I'm going to look at these stats for you guys. It's insane. Michael Porter Jr. had 14 points in game 1, and it gives you basically 5 in game 2, right? Bruce Brown gives you 10 points in game 1, gives you 11 points in game 2. CP3, 6 points in game 2, you know, compared to 7 points in game 1. Jeff Green is not giving you nothing. 9 points today in game 2, 4 points in game 1. The biggest difference is basically, Michael Porter Jr. He needs to be aggressive in scoring, but we'll see what happens in game 3. I already know this. Miami is going to bring out the house. Everybody's going to be there. DJ Khaled, Lil Wayne, whoever. The 305 is going to be lit. It's going to be a fun game. Stay tuned. Once that game's over, the episode is dropping about game 3. And Miami's going to do whatever in their power to protect home court, and Denver's going to do everything in their power to make sure there's still one game. And they're more likely to still either one of those games, either game 3 or game 4. But we'll see, man. A lot of people say it's going to be over 4-0. I said 4-2 Denver, but we'll see how it pans off in Miami in the 305. But for the ones that's been kicking with me the last 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, enjoy, man. I appreciate it. Enjoy the show. Tap in. More views to come. Y'all be safe out there, man. One love. Peace.